Previously on Onboard Lifestyle, the crew decides to sail from the west end of the Hollandaise Keys to the east, even if there was little to no wind. Eventually, it filled in, and we had a wonderfully relaxing spinnaker run and dropped our anchor in the swimming pool, where the Basik crew enjoyed another fabulous meal. We are excited to explore this iconic anchorage, but not so excited to pay the new trespass cruising fees to the Gunayala Congress. At least it goes to a good cause. The weather so far has been perfect. So let's pick up our story as Mother Nature shifts gears.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now, there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh.
Is this gonna let up?
It's not going to let up. I don't know. All I know is we just collected 30 gallons of clean water. I just checked it. It's 11 ppm. So, in the last hour, 30 gallons.
I think we've gotten more than 30 gallons.
Well, the tanks are full. I mean, I'd rather do this than run the water maker. It just takes energy to run the water maker. Might as well get free water.
Oh man.
But this works pretty well.
It works well, but we're so wet everywhere. Decks are just...
Welcome to the rainy season in the tropics.
Well, pros and cons to everything, right?
That's right.
Thing is there's so many bugs now.
It's all part of the adventure. Poor little guy's trying to seek refuge.
Little does he know. It's wet everywhere.
Well, that's why he's here.
I know, but he's in a puddle. Look at all this. This is the life.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing. Just can't get in right now.
Tanks are full. So, I'm in a happy place.
Well, we're full on that, but not our batteries. We haven't seen sun in 3 days.
Yeah, I know. We're only putting out like 20 watts of power right now. Which isn't enough to sustain it. We're chewing up probably 15 amps continuous.
Hopefully there's a sun break.
There has to be a sun break. We need to start topping off our batteries.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to start up the generator.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that.
But it's ready. It's right there.
That little guy?
Yeah.
He usually is, we just use that for water maker, but now we don't need water, so maybe we'll use that for topping the batteries off at this.
We're gonna have to.
What are we at? 60% status charge right now? If we get a second half of sunny weather, we'll be fine. But if not, yeah, we'll have to do something.
Well, everybody's in the same situation as us.
Of course.
All these boats are struggling to keep up with their power as well because we haven't seen the sun in, I don't know, 3 days. We don't worry about water, but we are worried about our power. If it's not one thing, it's another. The last few days on Basik has been a little dreary, and my mind kept thinking about comfort foods. So I told myself as soon as the rain stops, I was going to get busy. So here's my window. Okay, so I am in my happy place because we are now anchored, 20 feet from a beautiful deserted island? We are now anchored, 20 feet from a beautiful deserted island?
Real close, Lynn. 520 feet.
And I get to cook. So, we've been out here now for over 2.5 weeks, and I have to usually always plan meals very far in advance because obviously there are no stores around here. And one of the things I really wanted to do while we're out in the San Blas Islands was make a traditional pho, which is something that I grew up eating all the time. It is brings back such warm memories, but also it is delicious, and it typically seems like it's a difficult, time-consuming dish to make, but I'm gonna do it this time in a pressure cooker, which will cut the time down to about an hour and a half, 40 minutes of cook time. And so yeah, right before we left Cologne, I picked up this beautiful oxtail, and so what better way to use up the rest of our fresh veggies than to make Vietnamese pho. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is parboil my oxtail. And you do that to get the impurities out and all the that brown kind of scum that comes out. It creates a clearer broth, a cleaner broth, and according to my mom, a better broth. Of course, you can do this without oxtail. You can do it with a different cut of meat. You can do like a brisket. A lot of people will use some beef bones, but quite honestly, I didn't know how to explain it to the butcher at the store here in Panama, but they had oxtail and it looked great. It was a great price, and why not? I mean, it's new for me, so it'll be new for you guys too. So there's not that much scum or impurities. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to still use this water because it does still have a lot of flavor to it. I did wash the oxtail before I put it in. So I'm going to strain it through maybe like a cheesecloth of some sort to get any of the impurities out and maybe try to reuse the water. So pho is nothing without these spices. So I don't have all of it, but this is, you can make do with what you have. So it's a cinnamon stick, star anise, fennel seeds, and coriander seeds. And you have to toast this to kind of bring out the flavors of it. This is the warming spices. I don't have cardamom pods, which is typical, but it's not necessary. You're just going to lightly just kind of toast it up and then put it in a cheesecloth, and this is going to go into the soup to kind of bring out the flavors. Now what you don't want to do is burn it, obviously, and also don't use ground. You want everything to be whole, otherwise it'll just make the broth kind of gritty. Last thing to do before everything goes back into the pot again is charring the onions and ginger. Now you do want to have a char on it because it gives it more depth and just more flavor. Now you notice I didn't put any oil in this because there is a lot of oil that is going to be coming out of the oxtail. The oxtail is really nice because it has collagen and it has all these connective tissue. And once it's slow cooked, it will really be very tender, fall off the bone, and delicious. So I didn't have a spice packet, but I do have the cheesecloth. And you don't want to just have it in the soup without having it contained, because once the soup is done, then you just pull this out and it'll stay nice and clean. Nobody wants bits of coriander and fennel stuck in your teeth. So it'll be nice, and then look at how clear this broth is all ready. I'm going to run it through the cheesecloth one more time because I see some sediment that has settled on the bottom, but once it runs through, it'll be even clearer. I'm just gonna put the oxtail back in so it can continue cooking, and the rest of my seasoning, and a little bit of rock sugar. If you don't have rock sugar, you can just use normal sugar, but if I was to use it, or if I was not to use rock sugar, my mom would not be happy with me. A little bit of fish sauce. You can obviously end up adding more to taste after it's finished cooking, but for now we're going to do a couple tablespoons. You can add a little salt to the broth as well, and then just pop the lid on and we'll start cooking. While that is simmering, I'm going to do the aromatics. Aromatics are very important to a nice bowl of pho, and also I'm at the end of its life, so this is all that we have left for herbs, I guess. We have a little bit of cilantro left, and I'm really sad about that, but we also have some culantro. Culantro is also known as sawtooth, and it's funny because here in Panama they have an abundance of culantro, but very rarely will they have cilantro. So it has very similar taste, but it's slightly different. But overall, it'll do the trick. That and some sliced onions and some basil. I think that should do pretty good. No more steam. That means pressure is done. The broth looks so nice and clear. Taste test. Hot, hot. Oh, that's good. Now it's time for me to remove all the aromatics, the ginger, and then pull the oxtail out. That'd be nice. We're having some friends over tonight, so they can test this out and let me know how they think. But overall, not too bad considering we didn't go anywhere to get this. We made it here on the boat. Okay, don't look too hard. We do not have the noodles, the correct noodles for pho, but I do have a lot of vermicelli on board, so we're just gonna have to
vermicelli it is.
Vermicelli it is. It still is rice noodles. I mean, it's close enough.
I'm sure it'll be delicious.
The good thing is it doesn't take much to cook this, so. This is steaming hot. Already plated out the beef, the herbs. Now it's just time. And obviously the oxtail. And dinner is served.
Well, we've been anchored here in this swimming pool for the past couple of days, and it was real nice for a couple of days. But then the rain came, and after the rain came the bugs. The wind died down, and it's not necessarily the mosquitoes, it's the no-see-ums. Look at this. Screens on every window, but it doesn't help. Even this fine mesh, those no-see-ums just walk right through there.
I know.
Poor Emma. She has been eaten alive. Look at her legs. Look at this. How's that feel?
Very painful, very itchy. Kind of looks like I have chicken pox.
Boy, the girls have been just eaten alive. Me too. My legs are on fire right now. And we are a little close to the island here. So I think it's time for us to move out of here. Look at this though. Look at our anchor. It is right there. Yeah, water's crystal clear here. It's been just this beautiful, stunning views. The tropical, just islands all around us. There's a reef like right next to us here. Another one right there. And it's a real popular spot. We see boats coming and going every day. It's just idyllic. Beautiful. But these bugs are driving us out of here.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of Onboard Lifestyle. A special thanks goes out to our amazing patrons, whose generous support drives the production of our videos. Join our crew if you can. Wait a second! Rather than our normal outro, I thought it would be fun to commemorate our 314th episode with a flashback that is totally fitting.
3.141592653589723846264338 32795028841971693993751 5820974944592
307.
Emma!